Hello Martian travelers, and welcome back to the Mars Parlor. In today's nail video, we are going to be recreating a design I found on Pinterest. I will go ahead and put the inspo creator poster right here. So I have had a very bad nail injury recently. I lost her, you know, she got broke off like real good up there. So I have to give my nails a break. I typically work on this hand because of course I am right-handed. It's the first time that my nail bed has actually kind of come up off of my finger, but it wasn't super bad. It wasn't super great, but I'm gonna have to wait for that to grow back to do any full sets on myself, sadly. But anyway, yes, I am working on a mannequin hand today, and we are working with polygel as opposed to acrylic. So acrylic is my favorite nail system to work with, but I do enjoy a good polygel set now and again. So if you know a bit about what you're doing and the product is not poor quality, then polygel can make a set go a lot faster. This is because instead of having to lay the multiple beads and blend them into each other, you can just put down the amount of product you need on the nail and then work with it until it's fully sculpted, and then you just pop it in the lamp and it's done. So yes, we are doing a polygel holiday set on a practice hand today, and the theme is very much black and silver with some Christmas lights for fun. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this design. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's just get right into it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So as I said in the intro, I'm going to be working on my practice hand today. I did take the liberty of giving her some little tattoos. I thought that was kind of cute, kind of original. But anyway, so this polygel kit it's actually something that they were clearing out of the back of my cosmetology school. They're doing a little bit of renovating, and you know, I found this kit and I wanted to go ahead and try it out because I hadn't seen the color arrangement like this before. It came with a sparkly black, a sparkly clear, which I was going to try to use, but I did just end up using the deep nude polygel color, which is such a good match. Like, I might have to use it on a set later on for myself. But anyway, what I love about these kinds of practice hands is that you don't have to go through the whole ordeal of like putting a tip on there and then making it into a nail bed and then putting an actual tip on there. I really just treat the plastic like an actual nail bed. I put down a layer of gel base coat for adhesion, so my nails don't go flying off while I'm working. But then I take a file to the free edge so that the nail tips will stick on, because that is where you'll have the most trouble, because it's plastic and not quite as dehydrated as you could get on an actual hand. It's going to be difficult to get that glue to stick without a little bit of etching. So now I'm using my tip cutter and just taking these down a little bit. I wanted to keep these nice and long just for the fun of it. And we are going for a stiletto shape. So I'm using my straight edge nail clippers to cut down all of that excess nail tip. In the past, I used to just take the time to file into a stiletto like all the way through the nail tip, and that is such a waste of time. Didn't know any better about straight edge clippers back when, but now I do, thank the goddess. be taking a 180 grit file, using the 100 grit side to sharpen up the shape of these stilettos. That prevents any, it just saves a little time with the finishing filing once you've laid down your acrylic. So now I'm going to take some 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just going to use that to get any of that dust out from the top and bottoms of the nails, just to make sure that it's a nice clean slate for when I'm applying the polygel. So I feel as though the brush you use for polygel application is not as critical or complicated as the brushes you'd use for acrylic. I feel like they all work just the same, just because the method is so much different. So you can use the spatula on the other end of your polygel brush to place your beads of polygel, but I do prefer to just put my desired amount onto the nail. I feel like it works a little faster this way. But and then I'm using that same alcohol in my adapin dish as slip solution, and I'm just going to go ahead and brush that polygel into the shape that I need for this nail. So one of the reasons I do enjoy working with polygel is because of this here, just the fact that I'm able to sculpt the entire nail in one go if I want to. And that's that method I was talking about, with just placing your polygel all the way down the nail and just going for it. And take a view from the side, make sure you've got that good apex, make sure it's not lumpy. And then something else that's wonderful about it is it's self-leveling. So it requires a lot less effort than working with acrylic to get everything to be less lumpy and more smooth. So a good rule of thumb when you're working with either polygel or acrylic is to brush your product towards the center of the nail. So whenever you're running your brush along the side walls, you don't want to keep it flat to where it has the opportunity to spill off. You'll want to brush that all towards the center of the nail, and that will help create the structure and the sturdiness that it needs as well. So when it comes to building your apex and your cuticle area, what you want to do is think of it as an incline, a slope of sorts, because you'll want it to be flat to the nail bed, right where the nail bed meets the cuticle skin, quote unquote, in this case. But yes, and then you'll want it to come up at an angle before rounding off into the thickness of the remainder of the nail. I know that's a bit wordy, but I hope it made sense to some people. But yeah, so that is how you build a polygel nail. And now I'm just going in with some alcohol to remove that tacky layer before going in with my hand file. Again, I'm using a 100-180 grit. This is the go-to, and I'm going to sharpen up the side walls, make my stiletto point nice and pointy, and then make sure that the tops look so smooth already. This is the thing when I work with polygel. I'm like, do I even really need to file the top? But there is always going to be just a little bit of unevenness, and you will see it when you place your top coat on if you don't go ahead and file that down for you. So a point that I'd like to touch on when you're using your hand file in regards to getting your sidewalls to look nice and straight and even is not just going underneath the sidewall and of course filing that and making it nice and neat, but also like I'm doing here, running that file from the top of the nail downwards. So that's going to eliminate the bulkiness on the sides of your nails, and it's going to give you a much more crisp shape, especially when it comes to your stilettos. So if I were working on an actual hand, I would probably go in with a cuticle bit on my e-file and just, get those looking a little more neat. But I'm not stressing it too much on this fake hand. Since we did do polygel, it is already pretty smooth down in that area. But yes, next step is to take some gel polish foundation, and I'm just going to put this down to have a smooth surface to work on for our nail art. Alright, so after a cure and an alcohol wipe, we are going to get started with the nail art. So I am going to be using Valentino's gel polishes today, or apologies, V Beauty Pure is their name now. But I love these gel polishes. It's literally like working with acrylic paint, and as a painter, I love that shit. So I am going in, creating a French tip on my pinky and pointer nails. And then we're gonna do, it's not really a French tip at all, but it's basically just an outline on the other two. So I know that social media has a lot of new, different structured ways for you to do a French tip, just some little hacks and whatnot, but I'm still just a good old go with the flow type of nail artist. I like to bring my sidewalls for that French tip all the way down to where I want them, and then I just to make sure that the nail beds don't differentiate in size on the nails, I like to just put a little line, as you see there, to ensure that one nail bed on the French tip isn't going to look real small and the other one's real tall. So that's the only thing I'm truly worried about when creating them. I just make sure that, like you see, I'm just kind of fixing up how much space is going to be in the nail bed portion. All right, so now we've got our French tips done and that nice thin outline on our other two nails. So with these two, the middle finger and ring finger, I'm now going in to make some black snowflake designs. I did get some inspiration from this set off of Pinterest. I thought it was gorgeous. I don't quite know who the poster was, but if I find that out, I'll put it in the video somewhere. But yeah, so this little quick method, I feel like this is the easiest way to make a snowflake. I'm just putting dots in these little rows here, kind of in a star formation, and then I'm going to remove the product from my brush so that it doesn't overspill, and you can just drag it through those dots to create a nice thin line, and voila, you have a snowflake. Love it. But yeah, we're gonna make a few of those, put some dots here and there, and then place some silver glittery polish in the middle of some of these. I actually forgot that I went in with this extra little step just to make it look a little more snowflakey. You can take a little bit more product and brush those dots connected to the four main lines. You can brush those out to the side and up at an angle, if that makes sense. I'm not using all the best words, but you guys can see here how I'm doing and how it just makes it look a little more snowflakey and elegant. Here I am adding those miscellaneous dots, and I did decide to go ahead and transform some of them into these simple star sort of things. I think you'd call them stars, and just accenting them with some accompaniment, some little extra dots. So I'm just filling up the space here, not too much. Don't want it to look too busy, but you do want it to look nice and full and abstract. So these are all the fun colors we're going to use to create the Christmas string lights on our black French tips. So I'm going to be using the white to create the actual string first, and I'm just going to give it some loops and dupes here and there, and then we're going to make the little colorful bulbs. So I am doing multiple bulbs using the same color so that there's, an even disbursement for them. But in this case, you'll want to go ahead and make sure that they're as separated as possible, the light color bulbs, so that everything looks a little bit, so it doesn't look so convoluted. Comment with these colors is that I wish the red were a little bit brighter, but that's not anything to do with the formula. It's just that color. I just need to get a brighter red. This one's nice and deep, but it still looks very pretty. So now I'm just outlining the nail bed of our French tips with this silver glittery polish, and as well as putting them in some of those snowflakes. so the nail art is finished, and now it's time to add just a little bit of bling. I thought that the French tip nails were just looking a little too bare. They were missing a little something. So I just put a couple of chunky rhinestones on those and then called it a day. So what I like to do is put down my Macart rhinestone glue where I'm going to place my jewels and then go over it with top coat before putting the jewel down on the nail. This ensures that you don't have to go in and be extra careful around your jewels later on, especially when it comes to like having a jewel at the cuticle or rhinestones near the cuticle. It's always a struggle. You either have to take a detail brush or just get in there real expertly to try and fill in the nail there. It usually leaves parts untop coated or dulls the shine of your rhinestone if you get top coat on that. So it's just best to do it this way. It avoids all kinds of problems. Rhinestone glue, top coat, and then place your rhinestones, and then you get to cure it and call the set done. I love this method. Alright guys, so this is the finished nail design. I love these so much. I think this is the best set that I've done on a practice hand. I'm getting so much better application wise with polygel or acrylic, and I'm always having the most fun trying out new and different nail art techniques. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned a little something. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and safe travels back to Earth. Peace.